Have you ever wondered where else you could go in Azeroth? Well, today I'm going to be telling you about several areas that are still left to be discovered in Azeroth. Now, I'm going to be showing you two maps. This one right here, and this one right here. These are both maps I've had for a while on my computer. I don't remember where I actually found them from. I think one of them is an original, while another one may be fan-made. I'm not quite sure. However, I'm going to be using them to show you where else we could go in Azeroth. And this is going to be primarily for Turtle WoW, as they are a Vanilla Plus server. However, any other private server who wishes to make their own custom content are more than welcome to use these ideas of where else to go, what else to put into the game for your players. So, I think first we're going to tackle the areas that are more or less, they're just empty space in the world. There's already a land plot in the game, as it were, and it just needs to be utilized. Now, Turtle WoW has already started doing that. They've already used this area right here. This area is the Tirisfal Highlands, or Uplands, rather, and they've already utilized this area. Another area they've utilized is this one right here to the left, not on the right. The left side, that side they use for Alathalas. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Alathalas. So, they've already been utilizing areas in the game that are already there, but are just empty. So, I'm going to be showing you some more areas in the game that can potentially also be utilized in the game, because there are still many more left to discover. So, the first one, this is a more popular one. It's kind of out of the way, but it's the two little islands off of the coast of Teneris. There were a name for them. I believe they've been named the Gnome Islands or something, or the Goblin Islands, because they've got like a gnomish or a goblin hut on them if you manage to actually get out into the ocean to them. Some people have, whether it was through hacking or through in-game methods. I know, like in Wrath of the Lich King, with water walking Death Knights on the mounts and such, it became much easier to reach, albeit still hard. People have reached it before, just not many. I believe they can be used for a somewhat small hub, and maybe the entire area around it can be utilized. Not much space, but I mean, it's still something there. You know, I think it'd be cool to have like a little island off the coast. You can have a pirate town or something. Maybe that can be somewhere you can go during the Bloodsail Buccaneers, because you can join them at one point in the game. So that could be like a cool quest chain to send you there for whatever reason. But anyway, the next area I'm going to show you is right here, just under Theramore. Well, kind of. It's right in between the Dustwallow Marsh and the Shimmering Flats, in its entire empty area. I don't know what you would use this area for. Perhaps the Alliance expand their territory and claim that area. Maybe it can become a new Alliance area within Kalimdor, because, you know, Kalimdor is mostly for the Horde, and Theramore is like the area where the Alliance kind of congregate, not including the Night Elf lands. So that could be somewhere they expand, since it's relatively close. Meanwhile, you know, somewhere else in Eastern Kingdoms, the Horde can expand more, you know, to balance it out a little bit. Now, the next area I'm going to show you is this one right here. Now, this one has been utilized in Retail WoW. However, it's not utilized in Vanilla WoW. It's a giant empty space above Dire Maul and Feralus. And in Retail, it's used as the Goblin Hot Springs. I think this whole area could be used as well. I don't know, again, what you could do, but maybe you could expand the Ogre area. Maybe if playable Ogres became a thing, that could be their starting zone. Or you can expand the ruins of, oh gosh, I forgot the name of the city that Dire Maul used to be. I know what it is, I just can't think of it right now. But you can expand it to make more like ruins, and that could be their racial city, if they ever do become playable. I don't know if they will be, but you know, that's a possibility. Everyone's been asking for ogres to be playable for the longest time, and so far I've not really seen a lot of private servers do that. I mean, there's been a few, but not many, especially not that I can remember their names of. The most we have right now are just the illusions. But anyway, the next area, now this one is definitely a fan requested one of every server, is to expand Dalaran. Take off the bubble, put the city in, build the city, do whatever you have to do, even copy paste the Wrath of Lich King city and plop it there. Stick it on with super glue or something, you know? And then the ruins around it, the ruins are actually, you know, it's a questing hub. It's actually fairly, like, decent in size. Rebuild it or something. Just make it like a neutral city. Or even an alliance city, and then... Again, alliance city, but then Horde take something else or utilize something else. I'm just spitballing here. It would be cool if it was a neutral city, but because the Dalaran mages are alliance friendly in vanilla, it would make more sense that it would be more alliance friendly rather than neutral. I mean, you could do several different things with it. Now, again, I'm going to go once more for the Alliance, because there's just a lot of land that can be utilized by the Alliance in Classic WoW, and that's obviously Gilneas. Gilneas can be utilized. Now, the mass that's there is not as large as it is in retail. It's because I believe they expanded it for Cataclysm, but that's still a nice chunk of area that can be utilized. You could build your own Gilneas. It doesn't even have to be a one-for-one whatever it was in retail, you know what I mean? You could build your own. Make it your own Gilneas. I think that would be pretty cool. Like, what would you conceptualize as Gilneas being? The next one is we're gonna go back to this picture here. Now we're gonna look at the circle on the right-hand side. This side is gonna be for the Horde. I believe, because since that's technically where the Ghostlands should be, they could make that into an entire, like, Ghostlands area, or just an elven area. It doesn't even have to be the Ghostlands, especially because they have some custom lore on here. It doesn't even have to be the Ghostlands. It could just be expanded woods outside of Alathalas, because Alathalas is kind of like separated from the world, kind of. It's, you know, separated by the mountains, so you can't really cross over into the Plaguelands. Just, you know, expand out that area and just have it all be woodland, and then, like, the farther you go, the harder the creatures are, and eventually, because there is a road that connects to the Eastern Plaguelands, and you see this in retail WoW, that's where the big arch is, where the portal to teleport you to Ghostlands. I've actually been behind there in retail. If you go to Strathholm, use Heroic Leap, you can go through the invisible wall, and I've been up back there. There's actually, like, Scourge wreckage and Scourge flags and stuff back there. Not a lot, but there's still some debris, and I believe that area could be cleaned up and used as just the Elven lands. Have remnants of the Scourge invasion there, too. I mean, that whole area can be used. It's just a massive area. Speaking of massive area, something that I believe, now, this one could be used for the Alliance or for the Horde. I'm going to say for the Horde. Now, this area right here is what eventually becomes the Twilight Highlands in retail. They obviously expanded out in Cataclysm, like they did with Gilneas. But that whole area right there is still part of the wetlands. And because there's still a lot of Dragon Maw orcs in that area from the Second War, well, you know, they are not really from the original Horde. They deviated away and they became their own clan. Lore talk. Anyway, Dragon Maw clan is still there. Make that area a Horde area. While Grim Batol, which is more south, while it is surrounded by the Red Dragons, you can make Grim Batol like an Alliance city, because it's supposed to be a city. Open it up, give it to the Alliance, but then that area up north, make it for the Dragon Maw orcs. The Horde come, and they join with them, or they join with the Horde, rather, like they did in Cataclysm, and you could build a whole outpost there, and there could be PvP events, something. There could be a big battleground in the middle. It could be used as a battleground, rather, like maybe like an outdoor battleground. Think of like a Wintergrasp area, but it's the Horde encampment versus the dwarves of Grim Batol, and they're fighting in the middle. Meanwhile, you have the red dragons burning the crap out of them as a neutral faction who hates both sides. Because remember, the dragons hate us in vanilla. They don't really start liking us until around Wrath of the Lich King. Have them be that, like, you know, like in Altaric Valley, you have the trolls that don't like anybody. They're just neutral faction in the middle, killing everybody. That could be the dragons. That could be the new Altaric Valley, but in the world. That's just spitballing ideas. I mean, whatever server, whoever wants to do whatever they want, they can do whatever they want. But anyway, so now 2 more areas to cover for empty land in the game. And these 2, I believe, are some of the more known ones. Now, in Eastern Kingdoms, in the very middle, on either side of Searing Gorge, you have 2 blank zones. On the western side, it's between Elwyn Forest and Dunmoreau. That whole area was wiped out in Cataclysm. That could be a new zone altogether. I don't know exactly what you could put there, but obviously it could be a new, I don't know, human or dwarven area. On the other side, however, you got it between Red Ridge and the Badlands. Now, while the other one I said you could be for humans or dwarves, the other side, I think the Horde could probably utilize as their area, especially because they already have Kargath as a base of operations in Badlands, and just south of that is Swamp of Sorrows, which is another Horde encampment, especially remnants of the First War, Second War. That whole area could be utilized as a Horde zone. I mean, obviously, maybe like a, I don't know, maybe like a mid-tier, no, mid-tier you would already have Badlands, but it could definitely be utilized as a primary Horde zone, while the other side could be a primary Alliance zone, kind of like how Swamp of Sorrows is primarily Horde, while Blastlands is primarily Alliance, but you do have some quests in between. I mean, yeah, you can have, like, an outpost there for Alliance, so they can have some quests in the new area. Same thing with the Horde on the western side. There can be many possibilities done in these zones. And then you can have the Blackrock clan, who absolutely hate the Horde, because they think they're not the true Horde, because they're from the remnants of the first Horde, who are still fighting the original battle. There can definitely be a lot of conflict with those guys in that area as well. Loads and loads of potential. Okay, so the next one, this one's obviously going to be a given. Now we're going to go to the areas that are not in the game. They're not in the game themselves as in empty plots. These are just ideas. Places that could be formed. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe we are going to be going to other areas besides, you know, what we have available to us, because the Turtle WoW team have already hinted and kind of shown us that they plan to release the, like, original Hellfire Peninsula, which is Outlands, but like in the original, like, what it looked like before they changed it for TBC. So on using that logic, I'm going to be saying areas that we could go that's in the lore. There's just no empty plots for it, but it could potentially be made as a separate instanced area. You know what I mean? So the first area is going to be Kazan. It's the capital of the goblins. You have the Undermine, which is an entire, like, underground city, just full of various cartels. We never got to really explore that in retail. We only got to explore the top side of Kazan. We never got to go into the Undermine. I would love to explore the Undermine, and, like I said, the various, like cartels and all the, like, the back alley deals. Black Market Auction House can be introduced there. Just many, many ideas that can come from just that one area. The next area is one of my top picks for new areas, is Telebim. It is located off the coast of Teneris, and it's known as the island where we get the bananas from. Everybody knows the Banana Island. I think we could do a little bit of what, what's that island name? In RuneScape, the island Karamja, I believe it's called. Karamja? I can't pronounce it. But on the top side of that island is a banana plantation. And the southern side is more jungle with, like, you know, like natives, and then you have the volcano. Telebim could be like Karamja from RuneScape. You can have all of the banana plantations owned by goblins, since that's going to be probably most likely goblin-controlled area, especially that's off the coast of Teneris with Gadget Sun. Ratchet is another port side that's also controlled by goblins. So it can be controlled by the Steamwater Cartel, or maybe a different cartel altogether that just does business with them. They can own the plantations, and on the other hand, the rest of the island can be just wild jungles. You can have maybe a volcano on that island. You can have, you know, you remember the Hosen from Pandaria? I've been thinking, like, I saw one time somebody made a, like, what a South Seas expansion would look like in the game, and they created this, like, mandrill looking, like, creature that could be an enemy. You could have, like, those guys on the island, like these freaking, like, baboon or monkeys or some kind of race, using the Hosen model, just, you know, changed up a little bit, you know, painted over to look like a baboon or something, rather than just a Hosen. Or you could just use the Hosen. It doesn't really matter. A monkey is a monkey. So I mean, you could have those guys there as, like, the enemy that you would fight, that they're trying to get the bananas, and the goblins are trying to protect their bananas. Like, it could just be, like, a comical area, but still, it would be, like, kind of fun, right? Now, the next area, now, this is probably my top pick. This is my top pick. Plunder Island. A lot of people don't know about Plunder Island, but Plunder Island is the capital of the Bloodsail Buccaneers. Now, we can already join the Bloodsail Buccaneers in the normal vanilla, but in Turtle WoW, they expanded upon it to add more depth to joining them. There's more quests available. I believe there's a vendor, what it's called, Quartermaster, if you join the Bloodsail. If we were able to go to Plunder Isle, in the lore, that's where their base of operations. They have the Bloodsail Fortress. The king of the Bloodsail is there on his pile of gold within his fortress. Meanwhile, surrounding the island are Naga ruins, well, Night Elf ruins, but with Naga, Murlocs, Makura is another one. Like, it can be a whole full-on leveling zone. On top of that, if you choose to join the Bloodsail Buccaneers, you could be friendly to the Bloodsail and actually go, and there could be awesome quests there that are optional only for the people who chose to be with the Bloodsail. And then you could have the Blackwater Raiders as the enemy. Meanwhile, if you're friendly with Booty Bay and, you know, all the other Blackwater Cartel friendly people, then you would quest with them and try to fight the Bloodsail. That would be awesome and badass. Like, that would just be amazing. Just to have the two, reputations that are kind of like factions, but it's just, you know, at war reputations, and you can utilize that. Just like how, like, Shalazar Basin in Wrath of the Lich King utilize the Gorloks and the Frenzy Heart, I believe they're called. If you choose one, you fight the other, and you can do quests with the friendly ones and kill the others. That same line of thinking, you can utilize that. They actually, you know what? They do that in Desolace with the two different Centaur clans. You choose one Centaur clan by killing the other, and then you can progress and do more quests with the friendlies while you're killing the other ones, and you can kill their leader for more reputation. That same mindset. So I think it's completely possible to do with the technology we have now, considering it's technically already in the game with the two Centaur clans. So it's entirely possible to do stuff like that. Alright, we're almost done. I got 3 more areas. So, this one right here, now, this one's gonna be quick and short. I just saw this little, like, speck of islands on the map there, like, right to the northeast of, Ajara. I don't know what these islands are. Like, I call myself, like, the master of the South Seas because I know every single item. When I saw those little speck of islands there, I looked at all of my other maps, even ones that not only I filled out, but other people have filled out with like in lore locations that we can't go to in game, and those are not anywhere. My only speculation is that they could be the Dark Spear Islands, but because no one really knows where they are, it's speculated that they're more closer to the Broken Isles, close to the Maelstrom, like on the other side of the Maelstrom. But that could entirely be the Dark Spear Isles as well. So I have no idea. Anyway, the next one, and as of late, a lot of people have been asking for this area. It's been known for a while, but you know, with the recent retail, what's the next expansion going to be? Obviously, I'm going to talk about the Dragon Isles, which are right there off the coast of Eastern Kingdoms. Dragon Isles, ton of potential, especially I personally like fighting the dragons. I don't like being friends with them. I want to be a dragon slayer. I want to slay the dragon, mount the head, make dragon scale armor, that kind of stuff. There's already armor in the game that kind of look like scales and stuff. Recolor them and have one for every flight. You can have each island be primarily red, green, blue, what was it, bronze, and black, and you can kill each of them, gather their scales, their skins, their heads, their horns, make armor out of it, and each armor set can be for, like, healing, tanking, DPS. You could do anything like that. You can take the heads, mount them, or in whatever, like, location, like, I don't know, in the main city, or maybe the location of where your hub is in the islands. I don't know. You can do a lot of stuff with that. That's just me spitballing. Anyway, one last location. And now, again, I'm going to be bringing this up again with the same with the same mindset, or not mindset, but with them saying how we would potentially in the future go to Outlands, the original Hellfire Peninsula. I believe we should go to Northrend as well. Not Wrath of the Lich King Northrend, just Northrend as it was in Warcraft 3. Just, you know, Warcraft 3's Northrend is very simple. Cold, icy lands. Really only like 3 zones from the Wrath of Lich King Northrend were in the original zone. Like, you know, like Storm Peaks, I believe, was there. Obviously Howling Fjord, because that's where Arthas landed. Ice Crown. Though, just make it the generic how it was in Warcraft 3. You can keep some of the stuff, like, I think the Vrykul are cool, but I don't know why they would be there if they're going to go with the original lore, because they didn't start waking up and being active until Arthas called them. So if Arthas is not active, and he's not active as of yet, he's still sitting in the Ice Throne, but, I mean, that could be something you explore. Maybe he wakes up early in this new alternate, like, lore timeline of this server, or another server, if another server decides to take this idea. You know, you could utilize Arthas, the Vrykul, Wolvar, obviously, those are kind of cool, right? The Tuskar, everyone loves the Tuskar. You know, there's a lot of potential for a rewritten, redone Northrend that's more Warcraft 3 rather than Wrath of Lich King. But you have to add Grizzly Hills. That is the one zone I say you have to add. Best zone ever. Anyway, so these are all of the areas that I can think of off the top of my head for any server, primarily Turtle WoW, but any server who wishes to do custom content in a vanilla setting, a custom lore, custom content, expanding your server, whatever it is you want to do. I think these are the best areas you can do, you can utilize. There's my ideas for them. You can obviously do it however you want. I'm not telling you how to do it. But tell me what you guys think about where you would want to go. Is there somewhere that I missed that you would want to go? Any area that I already mentioned that you have an idea for? Like, oh, maybe the Dragon Isles, we do this instead of killing dragons. We can delve into some awesome ruins. Maybe, actually, you know, with the Northrend, Ulduar is in the original lore, of like the original like World of Warcraft. It was supposed to actually be in vanilla WoW with Northrend, and they saved it for Wrath of the Lich King. There's so much stuff we can do. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time.